Hey everyone, welcome to another video. First of all, I gotta thank you all for the support in the last one. Hope you all like it. Thank you for the criticisms you gave me. Again, we're not in the best conditions yet, but I think I'm gonna try something a little bit different today. We have another deck profile. This time is a premium one. And a very special deck. It is not the best, yet again. It is not competitive. It's just a little neat deck that you can play at locals. Have some fun. Just throw away your cards into the board. No thoughts, and then just go swinging. For the main deck, real quick, let's get started. We have 4 of the best hyper, mega, ultra, super best girl. We have Aurora Storm Girl, which is basically our draw engine. She gets power plus 13k during your opponent and your opponent's turn. During your opponent, what? In your turn and your opponent's turn. I'm sorry. Plus, she just basically says on place or when you strike into a coral, you may put a card from Soul, draw 2, and give the right text to your Vanguard, which is continuous. All of your units in the front row get power plus 5k for every 2 cards with Coral in the Soul. You basically just say, yeah, huge numbers on the front row, PG or GG. I'm gonna just leave the cards in on the screen if you guys wanna have a read. I just pause the video if it is too short of the explanation, just to keep this very simple and clean. We have 3 copies of Shangri-La. This is not Shangri-La, I know, but this one is. Basically, just here for the numbers, do not mind the skill. If you run into her, it is done. You will not win. I mean, you will not win in the first place because this deck is very bonkers, but yeah, just needs that little oomph. On place, 4 shiny star corals. On place, soul charge 1. If you have a Vanguard with coral, which you will probably always have, soul charge another time. It is compulsory. Soul Blast 2, get power plus 15k. Nice speed then, if you need that extra power. 2 Murtoas, our mini draw engine on the Great Deuce. When in Soul, if you have 3 or more cards, doesn't specify coral name, take her out, draw 1. And when she's placed on Rear or Vanguard, you choose a card from Coral in drop or in the rear or hand, put into Soul and draw 1. It is good to when she goes into Soul, or when you happen to ride her or place her and you happen to have some corals on the field or in hand that you don't really need. Our Battle Door, if you you're swinging with all those numbers, but your opponent can just PG, why just not throw another card, my homie? Just give that hand to us. You really don't deserve to have that huge of a hand. Germaine is basically our top 5 search in the beginning of our raid phase, and she's basically a Spica in disguise. Do not let her fool you. She will come up very useful card. We have for the grade 1s 4 copies of Coral. Again, when she's placed, if your soul has a Coral with card name, you may draw a card and put a card from your hand into your soul, and then when she's placed on the rear guard, you may soul charge 1. And if you happen to have a Vanguard with Coral, you soul charge another time and she gets power plus 5k, so she's basically a 13k beater. And she is also the best right target we can have. So yeah, just mulligan for those. We have 4 copies of Lyrica. Basically, she is a on place on Vanguard Warrior. You reveal the top 5. Had a grade 2 or less from among them with Coral. Had them to hand, and if you happen to have a card from those 5 into hand, you put a card from Soul into Soul from hand. Then in the Soul, you may choose a grade 2 or greater card. Put into Soul if you happen to have a Vanguard with grade 3 or greater Coral. You call this out and give power plus 2k to another rear, plus you activate her on play skill. 6 Aquas, you may run 4 plus 2 PGs or another 2 grade 1s, but I happen to have to run the 6 just because this deck tends to need that extra 2 PGs because your hand is not gonna be great most of the time unless you actually hit the RNG gods and they just let you win. She is basically a special PG, put a card from hand into Soul and you nullify the attack if you happen to have 2 copies or 2 sentinels, and drop when she activates. All of your rear guards cannot be hit until the end of turn. So she is actually a very good PG. I'm just baffled by how good this PG is in Lyrical. Coral starter, the original, you may run the V1, but I like the potential Forerunner skill and the access to a searcher for the grade 2s and the grade 3s. This is very good. But again, if you want to run the V-Star, you can run it. It has to be a Coral name because yeah, Coral. Hanukkah, just for more searching, you may cut some of these copies because it is a 5k trigger. But again, your deck is already beating for such high numbers. You might as well just run a few more search copies for her. 2 Ardels, she doesn't come up, but she is a 10k trigger. Plus, she just puts herself into Soul, draw 1, and give your Vanguard plus 10k. More power to the board. Basically, she is a hand cycle because you're gonna call her to the rear if you happen to draw into her. You may exchange these 2 for the 2 Sentinel crits from V, as well as running 4 of the Aqua. If you so please. 3 of the stride crits. Again, when you need to stride and you don't have grade 3s in hand. 1 Crook. She is basically our multi-attack engine as well as Germaine. She's so busted, she's restricted to 1. Let's keep it at that. 4 of the grade 3s heals because we really want to survive going second against aggro decks, so yeah. And our win card. If you check this early, GG my guy, more power to you. Because this deck's already being already swinging like a truck, and you're gonna have plus 10k to the whole field except your Vanguard with it. So let's move into the G zone. We have 3 copies of the Arcadia Star. She basically says, give your board plus 5k, plus 2k for every card. I mean, choose depending on how many cards with Coral in their card names are in Soul. Give them plus 2k and give herself plus 10k. Plus, she is a mini toolbox because she's basically allows you to add a card from your deck into your Soul. So you can add Mitoas, you can have Corals or Lyticas, whatever you feel like, or even the Hanukkah if you wish to compress your deck even that hard. Coral, the Arcadia one, the Frontier Star one at 4 copies, because we really wanna swing multiple times to our opponent's face. Plus, she activates the skill, the red text. Elthroda is a funny wombo card with Coral, because when you stride into her, if you happen to ride Coral Grade 3, in that turn you may give her the red text, you stride into Elthroda, do the Elthroda shenanigans, Elthroda goes back, and the Coral will still have the red text, allowing you to. If you happen to have your opponent checking a defensive, they will pass now, because it is easy to have at least 4 cards with Coral in their card name, denying the power increase from the trigger. So yeah, she is a funny one. Our Link Joker counter, our Thirua, you may exchange this for another Elthroda. Then we have Lucrece. If you happen to wanna, I don't know, bounce something from your board into hand, yeah, because that's good. Citrons, because why not calling cards from your hand into the rear guard during your opponent's turn and possibly filter your deck even more. Sandy, if you happen to have a huge hand, this will either go huge hand or no cards at all. It's one or the other, no in between. And the Messiah, allowing you to go further, to go second more easily, giving you that plus 20k shield. And for the Link Joker matchup, if you happen to have all of your rear guards locked, and you don't want to go to Ange, because yeah, she is a GB too. So yeah, this has been the Coral deck profile. I hope you guys liked it. If you happen to have any ideas for upcoming videos or anything, please share them. I will gladly take any of them. So yeah, hope you all like it. I'm gonna just keep this as simple and quick. If you wanna have a read, just pause through the video. So yeah, stay good. Bye bye.